Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast.
This is a show dedicated to helping you become a better organist.
We're your hosts, Vidas
And Usha Motuzaitė Pinkevičienė.
We have over 25 years of experience of playing the organ.
And we've been teaching thousands of organists online from 89 countries since 2011.
So now let's jump in and get started with the podcast for today.
We hope you'll enjoy it.
Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Usha.
Let's start episode 710 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Susanna, and she writes, Vidas, currently my goal is to become a reasonably competent and confident organ player in the small local church and the local church community. I like your idea of a course, a guide of how, what to study to achieve this. I don't want to take exams, but with an exam course, there is a syllabus to follow. Currently incorporating the pedals into my hymn playing and getting more confident with this seems a place to concentrate on. Lack of self-belief holds me back. I am in my mid-60s. Structured learning seems to be directed at young people. I have no musical background. Learning about basic harmony seems quite inaccessible. I have tried some book learning related to music theory, but I'm not sure if I'm on the right track. My sight reading skills are okay, but not memorizing. And I would like to have Happy Birthday and God Save the King at my fingertips. I think this is a skill a church organist might have. Best wishes, Susanna. So what do you say to Susanna at first? What's your first idea?
Well, that's great that, she is trying to play with pedals, incorporating pedal playing in the hymn accompanying. That's very nice. I think the more she will do it, the easier it will become. And her age is not a problem. That's being in mid-60s, that's really not a problem. And that she did not have the professional musical training too. Let's say we have one elderly woman in our organ studio. She plays with us for many years, but she also haven't had any professional musical training in the past. So, and she still can play very well because she is very hardworking old lady and she wants to learn new things. And she practices and she listens to what we are telling her to do.
That's a good idea, yeah. I'd like to point out that Happy Birthday and God Save the King, they are, of course, memorable tunes, but I'm not sure if I understand what Susanna wants to do with them. If it's to play with one hand a melody of Happy Birthday and God Save the King, or is it to harmonize them, to play like a hymn?
I think she wants to be able to play them from memory. Probably on various occasions that she will need those two popular tunes.
Yeah, and from memory, just a melody or with a harmony?
Probably with a harmony.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, those two basic tunes are very well known, and you can find probably hundreds of harmonizations of them online, and you just need to learn like a hymn or a small piece of music.
That's true. So, you need to memorize them as any other musical composition. Of course, first of all, you need to find a score. And I'm sure that God Save the King, you can find it probably in any Anglican hymnal.
Yes.
maybe, if it's published earlier, you will not find like God Save the King, you will find God Save the Queen, but it's still the same, so you can memorize it from there. And things is with memorizing, that for some people it's really difficult to memorize music.
And why is that, Ausra?
Well, good question.
For various reasons, probably.
For various reasons, I believe. For me, it was always, difficult to memorize because I simply was too lazy to do it. And then I would get that, the stage fright, that I will forget the text, during my performance. And it would make things even worse.
Would lack of musical theory knowledge or harmony knowledge play part in this too?
Yes, I think, especially if you are playing like hymn-like pieces, like hymns, like God Save the King. Then knowledge of music theory could really help you. You would see how the pieces put together, all the structure, how the phrases goes, where are the cadences, and all those structural points could help you to memorize the piece. But of course, you could do it without any understanding about musical theory. You would just have, let's say, to play it 100 times from the score, and then definitely you would be able to play it without it.
Without understanding
Yes.
the
Yes.
meaning of the notes.
Yes.
Maybe.
But the trouble with that is then if you would have like your memory would slip during the actual performance, you might not realize what to do next.
And especially if you're playing for other people, like Susanna would like to do, if this is a tune that other people know, and you play Happy Birthday for somebody else normally, right? Then the thing is, well, playing for other people, you get nervous. You get it's a stressful situation, right? Especially if you're new at this, and you might also forget what you're playing.
Yes, but my advice would be learn the Happy Birthday first, because it's much easier than God Save the King, because the Happy Birthday only has a few chords.
Correct. And also, if you would learn those two tunes from harmonization already prepared by somebody else, then treat this harmonization as a separate piece of music and learn separate parts: soprano, the top voice basically, alto, the second voice, the tenor voice, and then the bass separately, and then learn two-part combinations like we teach, three-part combinations. Now Ausra is already... What are you doing, Ausra?
Well, do you know how much time would it take to learn in such a way?
Yes, 15 minutes. Yeah, 4 measures it takes to learn 15 minutes. Happy Birthday is how many measures? Maybe 16 measures. So you get an hour. In an hour you can learn.
Well, but it's sort of, if we are talking about musical structure, about texture, then both Happy Birthday and God Save the King is, what do you think? Is it that polyphonical music, or it's just homophonic music?
Let's unpack. Polyphonic music has many melodies playing together
That
at the
are
same
equally
time.
important.
Equally important.
Equally important.
Like in a fugal piece or trio sonata or chorale prelude, sometimes many voices are important. Homophonic music has one important voice, usually the melody, which might be in the top voice most often, but sometimes in other voices. And other parts are just
Accompaniment.
supporting
the melody. So basically what Vidas was talking about, learning, memorizing like soprano and alto or soprano and tenor. Well, I think that might work really well for polyphonic music, but I'm not so sure about, homophonic music. So what I would really suggest that you would memorize, if it's too hard for you to memorize like all 4 parts at once, maybe memorize soprano first and memorize the bass line, and then to put the soprano and bass together. Because in homophonic music, the soprano and bass are the most important lines. Because one holds the melody, yes, and another holds everything else, holds the chords. And even if you would not learn alto and tenor, you could play both these pieces only with these 2 voices, and it already sound okay. It already would sound okay. And then you could, fill out that 2 middle voice.
Interesting. Yeah, good idea. So then just follow Osha's advice and you'll do fine.
Yes, and if you want to torture yourself more, you can, memorize all these 4 combinations of the voices.
Yes, if you want an easy life, do as Osha says. If you want a difficult life, do as I say.
Yeah. And tell us about, what worked for you. Was my advice better or Vidas's?
Yes. And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.
This podcast is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online.
It has hundreds of courses, coaching, and practice materials for every area of organ playing, thousands of instructional videos and PDFs. You will not find more value anywhere else online.
Total Organist helps you to master any piece, perfect your technique, develop your sight reading skills, improvise or compose your own music, and much, much more.
Sign up and begin your training today at organduo.lt and click on Total Organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
If you like our organ music, you can also support us on Buy Me a Coffee platform.
Find out more at buymeacoffee.com/organduo.